Alrighty. The notes so I can get to the opening. And there we have it. And welcome in, Gyms and Gymettes, to a different side of the room, to another
Well,
exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston, coming to you with episode number 61, 62. I completely forgot. And yes, exactly that. I'm not quite sure what episode this is, but when you're churning out hits, you forget what number you're on. That's just what happens. Thank you, as always, for turning into the No Substitute for Sports podcast on the Dodge Generous Network YouTube page. If you're just stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button, but only after you hit the like button. Maybe share us around, tell your friends, tell your friends, share us all around, tell your NBA team's draft lottery representative as they had to sit down through potentially one of the stinkiest drafts in some time. It's gonna be a bad one. You can follow us on Twitter at the Generates, and every Thursday going live 2 p.m. Central for on twitch.tv/sportstown shy for No Substitute for Sports live, cleaning up anything we don't get to here, pending a Chicago Dogs game, obviously. But check us out all throughout the week as well. Basically the same place. XBomb or twitch.tv/sportstown shy for Blow the Whistle, Low Blow Sports, again the live show, and oh my goodness, Bad Karma Wrestling, which big announcement. I'll hold off that in just a second. So much to talk about. So much to talk
much to
about.
talk about, so
So
much
much
to
to
talk
talk
about.
about. And it's a pivotal game watching, season debuting, ballpark experience having episode today. First, anything and everything to do with the NBA playoffs, a lot to check in over there, and some of the NBA awards. I got a quick thought on that, just how it was kind of presented. Reactions to the Bulls picking 11th, and the rest of the NBA lottery. Got a few NFL games to actually look forward to already. It is. You'll check your calendar. It is. It's not. I'm not. I did not stutter. I kind of just did right there. But anyway, and finally, we get some time. If we got some time, we're gonna talk about some pro wrestling again. Some just general talk about general catch up. But first, like I said, teased you just a couple seconds ago. Get mark your calendars. Similar again, it's I don't think it's I'm not gonna get in trouble for talking about it slash revealing it. It's not big news. If anything, the quicker we can talk about it, the better. Similar to our watch party at Dave and Buster's. If you were there, thank you very much. Mike, you were for the draft show over in Dave and Buster's in Rosemont.
It's
Bad
great.
Karma Wrestling crew got together, stewed it up, stirred up the idea, talked to the general manager at the Dave and Buster's. We cut a promo. They knew what was up. So I think it's again not set in stone, but we're looking forward to it. We want it to be a watch party, a watch along for AEW's Forbidden Door right around the end of June, which I believe that's where it's set for. So that's it
Oh
would have been a
yes.
too quick of a turnaround. We're kind of putting our heads together. Too quick of a turnaround to do a double or nothing coming up at the end of May. Uh, which again still looking like a solid pay-per-view, but with that the dog stuff coming up, I've had some other stuff just personally just been going on. So I would have been too quick of a turnaround. We're looking
For
forward for
sure.
Forbidden Door. So that's the game plan. That is the goal. Hopefully, again, you can join us there for the big
Yeah,
game.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. And then yeah, in my mind, like I said, not like wouldn't have exactly like bits, but we'd have like segments planned, more questionnaires, more stuff to do. Because obviously we'll watch the match, but we're not going full JR and Jared the King Lawler. We're not gonna do a play by play and a color commentary. We'll give our thoughts. We're just gonna give our as it's going along. But obviously it's just gonna be us. It has to be us because if we put up on the screen, we're down in a second because the wrestling those companies they don't like their content going up for free. So that's how it is. That's what we're looking forward to. So again, hopefully join us there. That's the game plan. Mikey J. Fat Cat. I didn't even introduce you. I don't think I skipped out on that part. My guy, Mikey J. Fat Cat, joining me as always, the founder and CEO of Fat Cat underscore Streams. It's Mikey J. Fat Cat, guys. Joining me. How the hell are you?
I'm doing good, man, as usual. I'm excited for all this stuff you got going on. Seems really cool. I mean, I saw you at the Dogs game. the other
Arr,
day,
arr, arr,
cooking
arr,
it
arr.
up, and yeah, now you guys are gonna be doing more stuff at Dave and Buster's. It's just all cool stuff to see. It's been all good over here, enjoying the nice weather nowadays, and yeah, just chilling, working, doing my thing, man. Ready to get
Hell
this
yeah.
going.
Did everyone did Mrs. Fadagato have a nice Mother's Day?
Yes, Mother's
Good.
Day was nice. We were at Armand's in Elmhurst.
Hell
A
yeah.
lot of places were packed up, but the Armand's wasn't. There was like no one there, so it was great.
That's
Had some
awesome.
had some family there chilling. Me and my brother went to their house later on and hung out for a little. It was a good day. How about you?
Oh yeah, it was good. I spent my day at the dogs game, but that's just at the, not at the request of my mother, because she's always on the side of it gets too crazy on actually going out on the day of Mother's
Yeah.
Day. So we always take a rain check, and we'll hit something like later on during the week. But she went ahead. We spent it with my dad and went ahead and went to my grandmother's house and went over there. So that was pretty cool. That was fine. Well,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
just brought back some food. We had picked up some Portillos on the way home, so that was all cool. So that was so everyone was all nice and happy and fed. Had some nice cheesy beefs. So that was all. It was all good. It
Sounds
was a
like a
nice
great
day.
day to me.
Hopefully, everyone else there, everyone across the nation, had a nice little Mother's Day. We love our mothers. Call your mother. Make sure you call your mother. Listen, I know you. We know Eddie Kingston loves his mother.
Yeah,
So,
call her right now as you're listening to this.
but Aaron Rodgers' mother does not. She does not love him. We'll get to we'll get to him actually a little bit later because we got some NFL stuff to talk about. But yeah, if you don't have any like appetizers, I couldn't really think of anything ever since. But yeah, it's just been dog stuff. I actually did talk about a little bit of the dog's experience over on Loblo Sports today, so that's always fun. That's gonna be just all summer long, getting in as many games as possible. So
Very cool.
that's gonna be fun. So yeah, yeah, you had mentioned you were there on Saturday. Just give a if you can give it like a Cliff Notes experience, because I know I've been kind of pushing. I've been pumping the tires on making sure they're filling up the air on the tires for the dogs, kind of trying to get as many people out there because it's a fun experience no matter what age you are. You get a nice, not a bad seat in the house just about anywhere, and it's nice and inexpensive. So I mean, again, you guys came on the second game, Princess and
Yeah.
Barbie night. Did not
Yeah, I did
participate.
not know that. I was not aware of the night that was going on, but it was all fun.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
no, it was
I've seen my dad's a big Disney fan, so I've seen a couple of Disney movies in my life,
yeah.
so I knew all the Disney princesses that were there.
Exactly. So yeah, Cinderella, Elsa, I believe Beauty and the Beast were both there. So that was pretty cool. And that was just again, that's not even like people that were hired to be there. Those were fans. These are diehard fans. Like the dogs isn't like it's for those that may not know. It is not actually a secret around here in the local area. People know and people go, and it's not. I think the best way to describe it, it is for exactly still fans. Yeah, again, the occasional fan that might want to grab the giveaway or two, like right here. But there are the diehard fans, there are the dedicated fans, similar to like the Chicago Wolves fan base, where they're a profitable, independent company or independent team now. They don't even have an NHL affiliate anymore. So it's kind of the same thing. The dogs bring in a pretty solid crowd. They fill it up, and all around pretty solid experience from top to bottom. So I tip the cap. It's fun. It's fun to make those shows, be a part of those, whether it's working the graphics or doing commentary on the radio side of things or working a camera. It's been all fun like that. They take a lot of pride in their work, and it's all around fantastic. So.
So when you do the graphics, you're putting the picture and the background on on the Titantron for the
Yep.
players.
Pushing it through, putting updating the stats on it every single time. Yeah, that's what the graphics guy makes sure they take care of. There's also a position that's like obviously there's the PA guy that announces everything. There's a guy that pushes through all the thank you to the Wounded Warriors Project, Scout Troop number 14527. Like there's it's a well-oiled machine upstairs. There's a lot of people again that take a lot of pride in their work. and make sure that everything's running smoothly. I
The
mean, and
stuff you
again,
don't think about when you're just a fan there or something. You don't like, you don't think about all the little things that go into stuff like that.
oh
So,
yeah, yeah. The guy that pushes through the music, obviously he'll sit next to the audio guy, who's sit next to the PA, who's sit next to the replay guy. Like everyone's all talking. The director, and the producer. We're all right there. And for as many, again, it's a nice happy family upstairs. It's fun. Again, it's fun to bust balls and that, just like any other company and anything,
yeah.
any other place. But at the end of the day, the goal is to put out a good show at the ballpark and actually on the American Association baseball website, which is free now. You can watch those games. You can watch our
Oh,
work
wow.
for free. All you got to do is if you have an email that you can watch the games. You can watch not just the dogs. You can watch all the games. The
Oh, let's
Sioux
go.
the Sioux City Canaries and I'm probably
The
gonna get them all
Milwaukee
wrong.
Milkmen.
Yeah, the Milwaukee Milkmen. You got it. We were watching the Gary South Shore Railcats. If you're a fan, they're all there. Uh, so if you want to check those out, you got honestly again, it's good baseball. If you're not really down for anything else, you just throw it on something to stream. It's worth your while. And again, if you know some guys like ourselves, that's our work that you're gonna be seeing us. And for again, just not to toot any more horns, but the dogs they've won awards for the production and the way they've been voted like the highest, the best for pushing the way that it looks. Our guy Pete did all the graphics and set up everything like the templates himself, and the league saw that and was like, "Oh fuck, we basically got to step up our game." And they've taken notice. They've updated. Sure enough, all other teams have again they've had to be brought up to a certain level because the dogs are just they look good. It looks good. So that's the
It's
goal.
awesome.
There's a standard now, and that's put in place. And again, it's fantastic. So tip the
It was
cap to
my
everyone.
first time there on Saturday, and I started after the game. It was like one of my best times at a baseball game in general. I mean, regardless of who's playing or not, with the major league games, you're going to get the notable players and that kind of stuff. I feel like you can get just as much action at games like these, and you're paying cheaper prices. It was only $3 to park at the parking garage. We paid $25 to sit behind home plate. It's
It's
the
the
first
best
time I
place in
ever
the
got a perspective like that, seeing balls and strikes and people hitting home runs right. Like it was so cool.
yeah. The umpire
And
was probably sitting there like it's not so easy, huh?
yeah, we were so every now and then being like, "Oh, come on. What the you just know." But
That
it was
no,
a
honestly, that umpire that was there, I forgot his name. Tahuka. I don't want to ruin it, but he's all over the place. I don't want to say he's the Angel Hernandez of this league, but I was told that umpire is all over the place with this strike zone. So I'm sure we did get a show on Saturday.
I
But
definitely noticed that.
yeah. But a dog's sweep, nevertheless, of the Gary South Shore Railcats, who off to a rough start. They're 0-4, but the dogs 3-0, baby.
Let's
3-0. And
go.
they're starting their road series today, actually, on this Tuesday as we're recording. So again, go dogs!
I'll be back at
No
another
ketchup.
game. Go
No ketchup,
dogs.
just home runs, baby. That's our motto here. That's again, that's the go-to. If you ever just something to do, dogs game. Come see the boy in action. We'll be working the camera. I'll try and be on like the wireless camera, following around, catch up and squeeze. Otherwise, I'm really trying to hone in my skills. I'm trying to do like the replay stuff because then working the upstairs stuff like that. That's also really really awesome. Just really fun to work with that.
For
And again,
sure.
might not don't want to spoil it or maybe even put it out there. But I might potentially do PA eventually. I'm like third or fourth or fifth in line. So if again, I'm back up to the backup to the backup to the backup, which is perfectly fine. It's not supposed to be a student job. It's for a person that's hired on slash a teacher's assistant. So
Okay.
there we go. That's
That's awesome you're even in consideration.
yeah, but it also would probably shit my pants because reading those names. Oof, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough.
that would scare me.
Yeah. And again, just last thing I would say, without you even knowing it, you saw actually some MLB talent. There's a guy in there, Narciso Crook, used to play for the Cubs. He got a couple games up there. He's been in that system. Um, there was another guy on the Gary South Shore Railcats who was in the Mets and the Dodgers organization. So
Oh,
these guys aren't just some guys you get off the street. They're not just some guys you're getting from the rec center. There's MLB talent. I would think probably upwards of anywhere between 15 to 20 guys in that league get called up to the majors at some point in time or get some sort of contract or look throughout the season. So again,
oh yeah.
it's a legitimate league. So I don't need to tell you and sit here and tell you that, but
So
that's
it's
just
kind
how it
of
is.
like a USFL, kind of like an XFL sort of thing where they're kind of their own thing. They can have a chance of getting called up, but depending on
Yeah.
how they play.
Yeah, exactly. Just yeah, to that or just similar to the G League where they don't have affiliates connected directly, but they are free agents. Like that's exactly what they would be to a certain degree. While they're going to have a contract to that team, they're still ultimately kind of free agents and can be
For
looked
sure.
around and shopped around and you know they're probably at any point in time there could be MLB scouts at games or just like I said watching the game. So that's why again we pride ourselves in putting on a good product so they can be like, okay, we're scouting that, we're using that tape because it's clear enough that we could say, hey, that was an out. That was we can make a good justification for that guy. I don't know. It's all the little things that it's just stuff like that. So it's all a bunch of little things that make up to a big giant thing that is baseball. So hey, baseball. Anything to be a part
Ah.
of sports. It's fantastic. And again, just I don't think I've had sun in like 4 years. So to get out there and work the camera and just to be out there on third baseline, just getting boof, just all of it. I don't know. Again, you might not be able to tell, but
Oh yeah, I
actually, you
could
kind of
tell.
can. You definitely can.
I could tell.
You for sure can. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
that was Sunday. Yeah, walking in, I had my sunglasses on. Like Nick, you got it, didn't you? Like, yeah, I was out there.
All
My
for
butt.
the love of the game.
Yeah, my buddies, the guys there, they laughed at my SPF 30. They're like, SPF 30? No, bump that up to about SPF 70, my guy. You're gonna get some sun. So yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. It didn't burn too bad. So that's good. Yeah, there you go. Go dogs.
Go dogs, man.
Go dogs. What else are we talking about? We got the NBA playoffs. NBA playoffs. How's that sound, Mikey?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know real fast today that we're doing this May 14th, I believe. Madame Web is now on Netflix, so go watch like the best movie ever made. If you have Netflix, you can watch Madame Web. So there you go. Go check it out.
Madam Web, is that's
Yeah, just one of the worst movies ever made. So if you if you have
I
Netflix,
thought
you
you were
should
being genuine for a second.
no. That
I
was
was just sitting here, I'm like, is this motherfucker really plugging this movie right now? Like, what's
no.
going
So
on?
if you have Netflix, if you want to see the worst movie ever, if you like just want to laugh, if you're at a party or something, you're like, hey, let's watch Madame Web. It's,
Oh my God.
you can watch it for
Oh,
free. If you have Netflix subscription, you don't have to pay for it or anything. So
now
that's
I now I heard that one was awful. Did you watch the Jerry Seinfeld Frosted movie, the Pop Tarts movie?
no, I think my brother saw that actually.
I heard it was the absolute worst thing of all time. And
Oh.
again, that's just it's a couple people online. It's doing the I haven't watched it myself, but I've heard that not only was it like the worst, there's a particular scene, there's like a court scene or something like that, the potentially the worst scene of all time is in this movie. Just acted, everything was so bad apparently, just
I
so
would
so
not
bad.
doubt it. It's a movie about Pop-Tarts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just I think it's not like a legit. It's like a parody of like so like they have the mascots come on. It's so weird and like well-respected names coming in and doing this and thinking it's funny or good. It's just Wow,
Oh
how
gosh.
checked out, how out of touch are you? Like, holy cannoli. Again, I'm
Yeah.
throwing shade on a movie I haven't watched just yet, but I'm not looking forward to it. It was one of those so bad it's worth watching to see how bad it is, so you
Yeah,
might
that's how
even
I
like
feel
it
about
is.
Madame Web. So now
Okay.
I'll have to watch that movie you're
Okay.
talking about.
All right, yeah, okay, let's do that. Let's get together. We'll watch some shit movies. That's gonna be the goal, and
I
just
love
laugh
that.
our ass off. I mean, a whole yeah. I I
We
do
go
like
watch
those.
Frosted and then
Yeah.
Madame Web and then The Room.
Yeah,
And
again, probably one of those things where it's so bad it could be like historically bad. Like it could be funny at how bad it is. So that's good. That's good to see. Yeah, I haven't been able to catch up on a lot of pop culture. Like I said, I've been trailing. I've been behind on wrestling for crying out loud.
yeah,
That's how bad it's been. But hey, man,
yeah,
working. That's what happens.
it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
We
gotta
can
go,
jump
go,
into
go.
these NBA playoffs, so
Hell yeah,
fuck
dude.
it.
Alrighty. NBA playoff time. It's been fantastic. Not gonna lie. We've been talking about it a bunch. But I gotta take on just NBA as a whole right now and kind of just gathering together some things, gathering what we've been seeing these past couple series and what we've been seeing now. You can you can chime in, tell me, hey Nick, that you got a good point, or hey Nick, you're way off. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But let me just
Shoot.
let me just get right into it. Um, I I know you probably know where you were, but already what 2009 2010 when the decision was made for LeBron James to go make his way down to take his talents to South Beach and join and create the big three with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. And that brought in a resurgence or a new era. Again, this whole I hate saying that because everyone's been saying that nowadays now with all this new. But yeah, back then in 2009, 2010, that was a new era of big three basketball of just get three stars and maybe a couple maybe a bench or two piece player here or there. But that's all. That's it. You're only gonna need that. And now we're seeing it only already in 2024, what, 14, barely 14, 15 years ago now. That's gone and out the door. There's already a different change and a different guard to the game of basketball where it's not the big three and a who gives a fuck bench. It is now you gotta have a big two and you need a bunch of role players that are good and know their role because you saw Minnesota exactly what this example is of, and I don't want them and a couple other teams, but for me, I'm going to use Minnesota because I'm most well rounded with them. It, they take care of exactly that. They have their big two. You could argue big three, but a big two for sure with Anthony Edwards and interchangeable between Carl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. That whoever that is, but that particular night. But they have a squad consisting of Mike Connolly, who's a well-rounded veteran, and Nas Reed, sixth man of the year. And again, if it whoever it may be, whether that second man is Rudy Gobert or Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year. This is a team. This is a squad full of killers who went ahead and took care, well ahead and took care of that big three in Phoenix. So I think already gone are the days of the big three in the NBA is this new era of you need two people, two stars, superstars, be mega stars even, and you need a solid, great, good role playing bench that is again award caliber winning. It's changed already in a short amount of time, and it's maybe that's just weird for me because I've never recognized recognized it that way, but
It
yeah,
fits the
all
mold for a lot of teams. I mean, you look at the Mavericks, they've got Kyrie and Luca, and then everyone else is kind of just, they're there to play their role. And Nuggets, Jokic and Jamal Murray, they're the dynamic duo, but there's other like Kadavius Caldwell Pope is on that team, but he plays his role and he gets it done when he needs to. So that's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Every team it seems like has their two top
Yeah.
guys, and then they figure everything else along with it.
You got Jokic and Murray on the Nuggets, and then on any given night, here comes exactly that. Here's Kadavius Caldwell Pope to lock down some guy and maybe go off for 25, or Aaron Gordon who decides, hey, I'm gonna do a Kobe Bryant impression and just miss only one shot.
Yeah.
It's just like, whoa, what the fuck? So exactly. I mean, this is again. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I think this is if anything a huge positive because if somehow some way we're again we'll get to it with a a 2-2 series right now. Uh, if the Timberwolves take care of the Nuggets, then we're guaranteed that we're gonna get like a first time champion between either maybe Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown on between the Boston Celtics, or if somehow some way even Donovan Mitchell can come back in that series fantastically. Tyrese Halliburton, haven't seen the Knicks in this position forever. A young Minnesota team, a young OKC team. The league is in a great Luca or Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie has a ring, but Luca can get his first ring.
Hmm.
Jason Tate again. All these stars can get their first ring right now if the Nuggets lose to Minnesota. It would be guaranteed. But this again, that's just like we're in a different time where you're not going to get three in a row of a team anymore. It's not again not anymore, but at least right now for this next 10 to 20 years, you're gonna get these spotty like okay, maybe it's maybe the Knicks get in one year, or maybe I don't know, maybe the Celtics get it done, and then oh out of nowhere the Timberwolves win. You're like holy shit, like maybe the Bulls can put up their hand if they get their shit together. Just it's not going to be streaks of like okay it's not going to be LeBron versus Steph Curry for seven straight finals anymore. Like that's just
No, that's time's done.
yeah, that's over with. And again, I mean, I like the idea of like a couple. You're going to see some good series, but it was already this year we saw it was an absolute gauntlet, just a knife fight in every single game in this West. Every single series is they're just all these teams are stacked to the gills with talent. The East, we'll talk about that later. But the West, there was so many great matchups and so many great teams. Like the NBA is popping right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if it, I mean, for those again, we can sit here and joke and be like, yeah, NBA is cool, but the WNBA, we'll get to that also. That season is kicking off as well, but just it is a great time for basketball in general as a whole, and this has just been a fantastic playoffs. And again, I just thought that just want to get my point across on that. Just we're going to see a new era, a change in teams. We're already seeing it in college ball, and that kind of slowly integrates itself. Oh my goodness, I can't stop burping into the pro game. And yeah, sure enough, where you see these younger, not the, well, now you're going to see a veteran team in college, and now you're going to see exactly that two stars and a bunch of star role players that know their role, can shut their mouth and just put their head down and play basketball. So that's all I had on the preview for that. But other than that, like I said, in terms of just overall games, love it.
Yeah,
Been
games have
fantastic.
been very fun to watch back and
Yeah,
forth for the most part.
yeah.
And
Go ahead.
no, yeah, I'm just excited to see how it all pans out.
Oh yeah, huge on that. I'm just trying to remember when was the last time we even talked or what was the last time we what matchups we were gonna have. Definitely probably in the first round, but I mean, we'll just throw a dart. What series has been the most what series have you been paying attention to the most?
Oh, the Timberwolves and Nuggets.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. So I mean, yeah, they're playing tonight a pivotal game five. I think we'll just start exactly right there. Um, Started off hot for the T Wolves. It's just making a statement win in game two, the way that they shut down the Denver Nuggets to the point where I was sitting there and I knew it and I didn't want to say it, but I'm like this is different. They might even be done. But then the Nuggets were like, hey, we're the defending champs. we're still right here. We're still a something to be dealt with. Come right back. But when they win both games on the road, tied right back up, and this is a humongous, humongous game 5. And again, like I said, could it possibly be 3-1 for the Timberwolves still if Aaron Gordon doesn't go crazy? Yeah, but that's just those types of game. You can't live in the NBA, the NFBA or whatever. It's better when it's the NFL, but the NFBA or whatever can't live in the ifs and buts. Um, this has been a fantastic series. I hope it doesn't go 7. I hope the Timberwolves can get it done in 6 personally, but it just outsider's perspective, yeah, this has been a phenomenal, phenomenal series, and you probably hope it does go 7.
Yeah, and this game, like you said, is going to be crucial tonight. I don't know if whoever wins this game might just win the next one as well, but it's love to see how it goes. The two very good teams. Then, like you said, I thought the Nuggets were cooked after the losing 2 games in Denver, and especially only scoring like 80 points in the second game. I was like, there's no way that they can keep up with this team. But
The
yeah, they
Timberwolves are the only team to not allow the Nuggets to score more than 100 points. They've done that 4 times this year. Done it four
wow.
times this year. Uh, yeah, I was just yeah, I was also thinking you might know the account, and I was talking about this earlier to a couple people that weren't aware. It's just one of those things you just had to be there. The Timberwolves are 0-2 since the Timberwolves Brazil account was
No,
deactivated. Yeah.
no.
Yep. I did. He was at the game. The person was at the game dressed up as their furry Timberwolves self, but the account is deactivated. And again, it was so hard. It was so hard to explain what that account was to somebody.
Oh, you can't.
You know, I'm like, AI generated wolves ate the other mascot in a very like
And
precarious, vulgar way. I don't even know how to say it. He's like, "How did it get banned?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure a wolf was banging one of them, like a representative of a team's mascot." So I think that's probably like they're like, "Yeah, that's probably how it's gonna get done." I could be wrong. Again, I'm not entirely sure
no,
what.
that'll do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I'm not sure if that's what was actually posted, but that would get it done. That I don't know what was the straw that broke the camel's back on
Okay.
the Timberwolves account, but
I know they posted some crazy videos, so I can only
yes.
imagine.
Okay, there you go. At least you can vouch for me on that. Like I said, I shared it. It was one of the first things I saw. It was one of the funniest posting accounts that were there. But again, you just can't have nice things apparently.
Elon Musk got him.
Yeah, no, he'll take care of that, but God forbid all the bots that are still there. No, those
Yeah,
are fine. Those are completely
following
fine.
me every day.
Yeah, no,
Leave me
that's
alone, bots.
for real. Uh, yeah, like I said, gone are the days of the big three already. Like that, it's such a weird way to all think about it and say it. But yeah, that series has been fantastic. That carries on. I mean, I I didn't want to shake the bear, rattle the bear, but yeah, Jokic is just hey, I'm the MVP and I'm the MVP for a reason. I'll we'll I'll quick back to the games with just for a nice smooth transition. Did you have any thoughts, feelings, opinions on the way that Jokic was presented his award?
Yeah, that
Well,
was dumb.
yeah. So
No, like you should be some sort of ceremony. Like I don't know, NFL awards. Every place
thank
does it where people get on stage to get the awards. Don't have the TNT crew announce it and while they're in the locker room.
thank
I was
you,
like, are you kidding? The video they
thank
posted
you.
of Jokic just like, thank you, guy. I was like, what, dude?
Not only that, it
He was in
was
flip-flop
yeah,
in the
dude.
locker.
So I mean, everything about that was just took the piss out of everything, and I mean. I'm sure to a certain degree, all of these guys care. And to have that take of, oh, Jokic doesn't care. He'd rather be in Serbia with his horses. Again, there might be some truth to that, but I kind of feel like at this point it is kind of a funny slash lazy take to have. but the way that this ceremony was and the way that he was presented, the way that he acted was just so underwhelming and bad. And I'm not saying that you need to go out and rent out MSG or Radio City Music Hall and spend a whole entire evening giving out awards and jerking each other off, but there needs to be something more than just a half hour on TNT where Chuck and Shaq are, who's gonna announce the MVP? Maybe I should because I have more MVPs. Or maybe I should because I got more rings. Maybe I should because I got. It's like, bro, who like this is something that is it's the most important award for your league. It is something that's talked about and thought about on radio stations and TV shows for months of, oh, who's going to do this? Who's going to watch this? The guys crack down and watch tape. There's YouTube pages dedicated to just to NBA stuff and who's going to win these awards. And to just lazily hand this out like, hey, Jokic, make sure you got that Zoom call link so you can be on TNT tonight and accept your award that you clearly don't give a fuck about. Uh, but hey, we'll bring you on. And then again, to add on top of that, Shaq. eh, I'm 50-50 right now because I commend him for bringing up that whole, hey, straight up, I don't think you should have won this. I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should have won this, but not the place, not the time. But I also like, all right, I'm glad you didn't like wait till Twitter to say that, but it's just like you're gonna do that right then, right away, not even give this guy a second to breathe. Like, holy fuck. Just everything about that, it's not bothering me to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna, this is egregious. It's just, again, someone has to see that this is like most important. Like, this is important. Like, again, I don't I just think of the of Kevin Durant and his press conference. Like, where was that? Like, have something like that. Have him have a speech. Have a something, not just excited, woohoo. Like, fuck, what? Like, that's insane. And again, I'm not saying it could have went Jokic's way. You could have went Luka. I probably think at this point, kind of looking at the numbers, probably should have went Luka's way.
Yeah,
Uh,
he gets screwed every year, and it's like he's one of the best players that he defines what an MVP. He's one of the best centers of all time, but it's tough. I mean, that's why it's tough when you play in a time where you're also playing with going against a player like him in these rankings. It's just tough. I'm a big Luca fan, so obviously I wanted him to win MVP, but I wasn't surprised
well, I
when
mean, he had the
Jokic won.
numbers. He had the numbers. I mean, I think Luca scored. He averaged like just maybe almost 34 points on the nose, and just
Wow.
short of like 9.8 rebounds a game and 9.2 assists. I might have that flip, but just short of a triple double, averaging a triple double. And again,
And
Jokic was like 26, 27 points a game, 12 rebounds, and like 8 or 9 assists as well. But I would just personally argue that the Nuggets, they might not be the 2 seed. They might fall a seed or two, but the Mavericks are not the 5th seed without Luca there. So I mean, that's just as simple as that for me. I
they might not make the playoffs without Luca.
Exactly. I mean, I would love to give my flowers and give as much to Kyrie as I can, but there's just not enough in the West for you to make to last if it was just Kyrie. It's just as simple as that. So I mean,
Kyrie and him have really gelled together well though.
oh,
So
100%. 100%. Just not this last game. That was the tough one to see. Because
yeah.
that just came down to free throws. That was simply free throws in game
Yeah,
4.
they missed so many free throws in that game. If they just made more, they would have won it.
100%. For game 4, 100-96 final for the OKC Thunder. Uh, the same amount, it's essentially the same amount of attempts. I think OKC might have had one or two more, but it was the Mavericks only hitting 12 of 23 from the free throw line. You need to make your free throws. Doncic misses one, down two. That can't happen with like 30 seconds left to go on the clock. It just simply
Yeah,
cannot happen. On top of, yes, I know Doncic had a triple double, but they shot a combined 10 for 33, 31, I believe it was, between Doncic and Kyrie. That cannot happen. It simply cannot happen. Um, the Thunder have shown that yes, they are young. They might be inexperienced, but they're still hungry and they're going to be there because Gilgeous Alexander will not just back down and let it be over with. So
for sure.
it's as simple as that. So the Mavericks, I still think, can take care of it the next two games and win this series. But it is just as simple as Doncic needs to have 30 plus, Kyrie needs to follow suit, and everyone needs to just do their job. It because again, I young, great team, good team in OKC, just missing a piece, and I don't know exactly what it is. So I, they're missing something. It's just they're
Well,
off.
they're on a very good road for the future. They still have first round. They still got first round picks and so, like
They
galore. It's just
control the next
crazy.
like four drafts,
Yeah,
basically.
it's so
It's
props
just,
to them. I mean, they
and
really
they're the
figured it out.
ones, and they're the number one seed. It's just so crazy, so
And their
crazy.
team is so young. It's like it's just crazy. They're only going to get better from
The oldest
this.
guy is probably Gordon Hayward, but they average like 23 years old is the average age on that team. So again, just you can be like, oh, that's inexperience. That's going to be a crazy locker room. They're making their own culture. They're loving everything that's going down in Oklahoma. So if you can't beat them, you got to join them, baby. That's just how it is. Um,
I hope Luka beats them. I want to see the Mavericks in the conference. I want to see them make in the finals. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. We can kind of I don't want to I mean kind of skim over Boston and Cleveland. I mean, given one more game coming tomorrow on Wednesday, I would think Boston takes care of it and seals it. They're up 3-1 right now as we're recording.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, they had their day. Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell got it done on that game 3, but Donovan Mitchell was out game 4, so it still kept it close because I
Yeah.
mean, that's just it was one of those things I was described to, and I think that's the best example for it. It's just like when you have the Boston Celtics here, they're kind of like that. They're that A plus student. They're that honor roll student that the capability is there, but then they're coming home with like B's and C's and stuff like that. We're just like, what are you doing? Go study. Put down the vape and go study. What are you doing? So it can be as simple as that. Like that whole the cliche of like, hey, don't let the Celtics are gonna play with their food. It could be like that, but it was just a simple. It was a frustrating game to watch, just in terms of that they could have won by 20, but only winning by 7. So yeah, but in all honesty, that series is all but done. One more game on Wednesday, so it probably as this video is getting posted, I'll be putting that up. I'm actually gonna get to the posting. Uh, that leads us to the one final one. Pacers and Knicks, and another fantastic series. On the flip side of Minnesota and Denver, where each team won the road games, this series, both teams have won their home games. And now going into game 5 tonight for the Knicks and the Pacers, I think the Pacers might have figured out the Knicks. I think they've kind of figured
Hmm.
out it was a mixture of them figuring them out and they're a little battered, they're a little beaten up are the Knicks right now. So I'm leaning towards the Pacers. I think they have their number. They figured out their speed. Tyrese Halliburton is kind of figured it out as well. I mean, that's a well-rounded squad. Again, not no superstars just yet. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton can work his way in there, but you got a lot of talent, a lot of stars on that squad. So
For sure.
I
I
think,
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah, it's I've been keeping track of that series as well. I've really been watching all three of them except for the Celtics and Cavs mainly,
Rightfully
but
so.
the I mean the Pacers got I feel like I want the Knicks to win just because like you were mentioning earlier, they haven't been there in a long time and I like Jalen Brunson. One of my coworkers actually like used to go to high school with him and knows
Oh,
him.
nice.
So yeah, I always think about that whenever I see him, but he's been just going off these playoffs. And I mean, the Pacers, they've got a well-rounded team, but I think the Pacers and Knicks are pretty like like they're very similar with their teams.
Oh,
So
100%. 100%.
this series has been one of the best with how similar they are, and that's why it's been so close. But and again, a very crucial because it's tied 2-2 right now,
Yep.
right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
tied
so
2-2. Probably I think tip off probably just started a little while ago. If not, just it might be starting up soon as it's like 7:20 right now as we're recording. But yeah, I mean
another
that
very crucial game five. I mean, that's these 2-2 games, these are very big. This can change the series, so you got to play your best.
those are the pivotal games. Obviously, game one, game three, game five, and game seven. If there is a pending game seven, those are always the pivotal ones. Uh, but yeah, I mean the when the Knicks do well, whether you are a fan of them or not, the league just does well because it's just nat. When New York is popping, whatever league or whatever sport that's connected to, they're also going to be popping. So
For sure.
the when you're sitting there and you got those reaction videos, the Bing Bong guys and eh, I take this Joel Embiid jersey and I wipe my ass with it. Just those videos like that. Like yes, that's that's not just for show. That is what you're getting into, and you're getting a fan base that takes over other people's facilities again, just sitting back again, even the first round, that still was probably one of the better matchups. Just in the past couple of years for the playoffs, just so much fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Because again, just the Knicks being good somehow makes the league a little bit better. Just as simple as that. Uh,
You gotta love the rowdy fan base. That's
Oh yeah, and again, yeah. On top of that, yeah, it's a very likable group in Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo,
yeah, and
Josh
Josh
Hart.
Hart.
Yeah, like these are likable guys and stuff like that. So and I mean, I'm always gonna be a big fan of Tom Thibodeau. I mean, he, I'm sure he does, but just in my just my what I've been listening to and who I do that like I haven't heard him get enough like of flowers or commendment. And I know the old narrative if
Well,
you weren't.
everyone blames him for Derrick Rose.
Exactly.
So
That's the thing.
yeah,
They blame him for so much, and they blame him for, running guys into the ground, but you're not gonna get you wouldn't we wouldn't have those conversations of, you know, is Joakim Noah a borderline like Hall of Famer? He's not, but to us he is. But that's exactly that. Like you got the most out of Joakim Noah and like Carlos Boozer and Taj Gibson because of Tom Thibodeau and guys like that. Uh, I mean, again, or the narrative back in the day, apparently, from what I was gathering from listening to other people from the radio and stuff like that, that was the thing. Like people hated him, people wanted him out of the town, but he's a fantastic coach. He just wins everywhere he goes. It's not a coincidence that he just wins. So I
yeah.
know he has a different mentality, an old school mentality of playing these guys again, basically into the ground, whatever, however you want to say it, but these guys like the way that he plays. Like there's a reason why, Joakim Noah and Taj Gibson were, always trying to play for him, no matter where they were in their career at that point in time. They were like, oh yeah, I'm 30 plus years old. I'll go play for the Knicks. I don't care. Like, yeah, Tom's there. Yeah, fuck it. I don't know. That's just how
Sure.
I was feeling these past couple of days too with Tom Thibodeau. I feel like he's not giving his flowers enough. I'm sure he will eventually. But I mean, again, just more on yeah. This has been a fantastic series. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Quickly, just to wrap this up. We're thinking Celtics. That'll take care of that. That'll take care of
Yeah.
them, bro. You're leaning towards the Mavs. I'm also thinking Mavs. We're thinking Mavs in six, or are you thinking that goes seven?
I think it goes seven.
Okay, all
I'll
right.
say Mavs in seven.
All right. I mean, that's gonna be an important one. The game seven would be in Oklahoma, so that would be a very important one. And then again, I'm gonna go with Minnesota. I know all the momentum is kind of back, if not all of it might be back on Denver's side, but gotta go with Minnesota. Gotta go with my West squad. I'm gonna pray in six. It probably might go seven. What are you thinking of that Minnesota Denver squad, Denver series?
I'm saying Nuggets in six. I think they
Ah,
flipped all the momentum
I
these
know.
past two games. I
Rip
don't.
my heart out. I
That's
know.
just what that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's I think my head says that, my heart says Timberwolves in six or seven, but my head's like, Nick, that's might be
As
packing
much
it
as I
in.
love Anthony Edwards, I love what they've been doing this playoffs. He's been
Yeah,
unstoppable. Everyone comparing him to Michael Jordan and shit, but
not fair. Not fair to do that to him. Don't stop
yeah,
doing
I
that. Not fair.
it's it's the Nuggets are a very good team and they won the championship for a reason. So
Yeah.
I feel like all the momentum has gone in their favor and it's going to be tough to get them out of out of it now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we kind of actually did get to my awards talk already, so that was my little mini rant of just not exactly not who got what, but how it was presented. My only gripe, yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Uh, would be most improved. Most improved should have went to Kobe. Come on, what are we doing? It's got to go to Kobe
Hmm.
White. And again, I looked at the numbers of I see through 100%. I see the lens of Tyrese Maxey. He increased his points by about six. He went from 20 to 20 25 25.9 and went up, shot about five more shots a game. However, his 3-point percentage went down, his overall field goal percentage went down. I'm not off the top of the dome. Maybe some of his rebounds and assists could have went up, but Kobe White went from a bench player to the starter,
Solidified starter.
yeah, to a starter, to the number one option at some points in time throughout the season. Increased in every single category, every offensive category he increased. All the shooting, his numbers, his the amount of times he was shooting, his shooting percentage, his 3-point percentage, everything increased. So that was just my point of if if Tyrese Maxey is truly the most improved, he would have improved in every stat, kind of like how Kobe White did. But that wasn't my decision. I would have leaned Kobe White's way. I'm sure you're in that same boat.
Yeah, I thought he did had a stellar year, and I mean, I could always see through both sides of it, but I don't know, more as a Bulls fan, especially, I thought he was
Yeah.
just better overall.
I was also presented both arguments of, if Joel Embiid, kind of like a butterfly effect, if Joel Embiid stays healthy, does Tyrese Maxey have the same year? But I was also hit with the counter of, if Zach LaVine stays healthy, does
Hmm,
Kobe White have the same year? So I can again,
it's true.
I'm glad both these guys went off and we see both of these young talents. But I mean, yeah, I had to pull myself back a little bit. I'm not completely upset. I'm not up in arms like, what are we doing, NBA? You don't recognize talent when talent is here. No, it's I can see it through both lenses. Kobe White, again, from between you and I, if you're watching, you got cooked. You got screwed. But nuts and bolts, you got screwed, my friend.
We love you, Kobe.
But yes, we do love you. That's
Keep
exactly
doing
that.
it.
Been saying it for months. Build the team around you, dog. That's come on. That's what we got to do. But I'll some other rumors quickly with the Bulls before we also get some other quick Bulls stuff. Uh, I did see that it is trending in the way that DeMar DeRozan might get re-signed by the Bulls.
Yeah,
Again, I'm as long as it isn't a huge expensive pay, it isn't egregiously expensive. I'm fine with it, and
I'm
for not for
fine
too
with
long.
him. Yeah,
Yeah, he has his ways. They seem to like him. They seem to like the way that he builds around, or he's just, again, it's out of, it might be not winning basketball necessarily, but the guy fucking just is a killer from the mid range. So there's just no denying that. So
consistent. And if he wants to spend his years playing in Chicago, like why not have him on our team? He could help with the younger guys, and you got to have someone like I feel like you got to have someone like him on your team. So it's nice to keep him.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Like I said, I've argued like, oh, he's old. You don't want a 35 going on 36-year-old guy. But if you don't get him for if you get him for cheaper, if you get him for right around the same amount that he's at, all for it. You're not building around DeMar DeRozan. You're building around these younger pieces. Let's
Yeah.
keep that in mind. So do that. Do that. And I think that might be the trend. Just kind of just still smoking, still on the Bulls, still on NBA lottery, just the NBA in general, but shifting gears from the playoffs. The NBA exactly the NBA lottery. The Hawks get the first pick. The Washington, the Wizards, they get the second pick. And all the way in the middle of who gives a fuck land, the Bulls get 11.
I get so mad because the Hawks had a 2% chance to get and they got the first pick, and we had like
Three.
similar, yeah, we had a
Yeah.
higher chance, and we get nothing. It's
It's
just like
three.
we can't get anything as Bulls fans.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad the Bulls won that play-in game. That helped their chances oh so much better. But it's I'm trying. I was like I said, this isn't the best draft to have the best number one overall pick, but it's still just like
That's true.
God. It's just come on. Can the Bulls be good in any sort of way? Like they're just locked in at the 8, 9, 10 spot. That's where they're gonna be forever and ever. Amen. Like that's just where they're locked into. It's just but to put it in some point of view, like I said, they're not good enough to get all the way at the beginning. Not they're not bad enough to get all to get the number one, two, three spot. They're not good enough to be in contention. They get the purgatory picks, but
And then we don't trade or sign anybody
that too,
ever.
that too. I would love to say that they could trade Zach LaVine and move up, but I wouldn't even want to do that in this draft because it's so stinky. Like one of those things where hit me in the head so I can see some stars. It's a draft pool of a bunch of guys from the European leagues where it's just not. I'm not well aware. I don't watch enough European basketball to know a couple of G League guys and a couple of college guys that again, it's not like they're not jumping off the charts like holy cow. Like there wasn't a dominant Kentucky team this year or a Duke team where okay, that's your guy who's number one, guaranteed 1-1 and a guaranteed starter in the NBA for the next 10 years.
Or just an athletic freak like
No,
Wembanyama or
no, yeah, there's
something where you're
none of
like,
that
well,
this
that
year.
guy's
There's
the number
none
one
of that
pick.
from this year. So while I'm okay with, being in this little 11th spot right here, to put it in some perspective again, the number one seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they pick right after the Bulls in this draft. So
Wow.
so that's where I'm at. That's where my thought process is where the Bulls are just waiting for or just relying on the lottery or relying on their record to get a pick or to get a guy. The track record of the 11th spot isn't the worst. I've looked at like the past people who've been selected at the number 11th spot. You get some really bad guys, but there's a couple of Domantas Sabonis was picked 11th, Miles Turner was picked 11th overall. So you can find diamonds in the rough. It's just really hard, especially in the NBA draft. So yeah,
Just
I
pick Bronny so we can get LeBron.
Yeah, how's that's going to be interesting. But I honestly what Adrian Wojnarowski, the obviously the insider for the NBA, who's on basically all the NBA shows all the time, didn't have the worst point of view. Like whoever does end up taking him, their G League affiliate is going to make a fuck ton of money with all the merchandise sales. And I'm not even trying to make a joke out of it. Like he will go there, he will go to their G League team, and he will become dare I say it, he might even be a hotter ticket for Bronny James in the G League than Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Oh, oh, don't get don't
Oh, I'm pushed back.
yeah, I know.
There's
Don't let
no
don't
Bronny
let,
because Bronny James sucks.
I know.
He
He's
actually
awful.
starts playing good, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like today they were doing an expedition game and he had 4 points, I think, and they posted on ESPN like that's shit. Dude,
yeah,
four
exactly.
points is nothing.
But if he's at a if he's at an Oshkosh or what the I don't know where the Herd play, the Milwaukee Herd, probably in Milwaukee, where the Herd play, if LeBron James makes his way up there, then that might be a hot ticket to go when he watches his son play or something.
Hmm.
It'll be something that I'll be excited when I work the Windy City games to be seeing what when LeBron James Jr. is coming by, when Bronny James is coming by. So that ought to be good.
Yeah, that would
Uh,
be awesome.
yeah,
That'd be
it'll be
so
a nice
cool.
little ticket. But yeah, that was exactly that. Whoever does end up taking Bronny again, you might not get the talent, but you're gonna get a couple dollars. So that'll be that whatever your heart desires on that one.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know
that
who
was
the
just
Bulls will end up picking, but I don't know, maybe Zach. I don't know. He's projected to go way lower, but that's like Zach Edey's the only player that I know in this draft that it seems decent just because he's so tall.
yeah,
And it's like I'd have him on my team just because Bulls need centers, but that's just he's projected going like the 30s, so the Bulls won't take him at that
yeah.
pick. But I'm
I've
always
I
interested to see what they do. I mean, obviously they know more than I do when it comes to this shit, so I always trust these people with the picks they make. You never know how good they are till they start playing. I mean, Io and Kobe have been great for us. Patrick Williams, not so much, but the Bulls have had some decent draft picks, so hopefully, fingers crossed they can make another good one.
the mock drafts I've seen that are on the hopeful side is I believe his first name is Dalton Knet. Dalton Knet might be his first name, but it Knet like Knecht. I think that's how you say it. Of course I
Okay.
could look it up because there's a computer in front of my face, but I'm just gonna ignore that. Uh, yeah, it's wild. The last thing I'll say on the draft, on the lottery draft, on the NBA lottery is will the Hawks follow in the footsteps of the Falcons? By that, will they extend Trae Young and then draft a point guard with the number one overall pick?
No, Trey Young gets they might keep him now because I saw that there's some big international guy that they can get at the number one pick. So maybe
Yeah,
Trey Young will be happy with staying, but I saw there were talks with maybe the Bulls getting Trey Young this
yeah,
offseason. So
that'd be fantastic. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I will have to see how it goes for him. I feel like maybe the Hawks getting the number one pick might change things around for them with
Oh
how
yeah,
they handle Trey Young.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was even that opportunity. The Spurs could have had back-to-back number one overall picks. I think they're picking fourth right now, which
Been
again, just
crazy.
insane. Um, yeah, was there any other lingering any NBA talk, anything we didn't get to? I kind of,
Oh no,
I
think we
yeah, maybe
covered
just
really everything.
yeah. I mean, again, maybe just shoot. I mean, I got the hat on. Any WNBA stuff? I know the season opener is kicking off already. I know we're it already shows. I mean, yeah, Caitlin Clark officially on the board 13 minutes ago from ESPN. So she got her first points.
Yeah, I mean,
Congrats. Yeah.
that's I don't know how often I'll be tuning in, but if there's ever like a Caitlin Clark game on, or really Chicago Sky, so I can see Angel Reese
Yeah.
and the people on our team, I'll definitely check it out every now and then. But like, I don't know if I'll be watching constantly. Like, might check out Caitlin Clark for how
That
she
was
does
kind of my
tonight.
thing. That was my thing tonight where I've seen posts and stuff already where I can't wait. I'm like just sitting here. I'm like, yeah, we can sit here and say you're gonna watch those games, but there's game fives on, there's NHL stuff on. Like, yeah. Oh
I mean, I'd
yeah,
be
you're
lying if I said I wasn't gonna watch like the Timberwolves
yeah,
tonight rather than
and I would be lying and say I would be ignorant to say again. We've already discussed this where I would be ignorant to sit here and say that these gals in the WNBA they're not talented. There's not an again not a new era of WNBA basketball incoming. I'm just gonna sit here and still question the authenticity of these fans that are sitting here and saying, "Oh, this is new, this and that, the other, and this is gonna be a new generation and all these new eyeballs." And I'm like sitting here like. So what section is your season tickets? Where when are you going? And they're just sitting there like, well actually I got a thing and I got my dog and then he ate my homework and my daughter and then no exactly. I think it's just gonna be kind of one of those things where I don't it's gonna again sound ignorant where People
No,
post
I
about it.
completely get it.
Yeah,
People are gonna talk about it a lot on social media, but did
yeah.
you really watch the game?
People
Did
gonna
you really, or
post
did you
about
just
it,
see
but are you
one
gonna be
clip
about it?
on Twitter and then
Yeah.
that?
Is it just like again me? Hey, I get it. I'm sharing. Look, Caitlin Clark. That's a long three. I see. I'm one of the good ones. I did me good. Look at me. But again, like, where's your jersey? Did you know what she averaged in Iowa at Iowa? Do you even know what jersey number she is? Like, it's gonna be stuff like that where
Also, so
again,
funny. The
yeah.
Iowa coach immediately left after this. She announced she retired today, or so. I was like, of course, Caitlin
Go out
Clark's
on top,
gone.
dude. It's not going to get any better than that. Like it's not going to get any easier than that fucking season right there. It will be downhill from there. It's as simple as that.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, it will never get as good as that. So,
No. And I don't want to get weird. I also just think there's gonna be slivers of everything. Again, I think there will be genuine fans that sprout from this. I'm not gonna deny that will happen. How many? Not quite sure. I think there's a small sliver that's just really into gambling. Therefore, this is just an opportunity to make money. Fine.
gambling.
Also, all for it. I can get with that. I also think there's a small, hopefully a very, very, very micro small percentage that might just like these gals because they're pretty. And they're again, this might sound ignorant. It's just a different time where these gals aren't as, you know, not they're becoming a little bit more feminine looking. Can I say that? I think that might be the polite way of saying it. They they look like they should be on Sports Illustrated swimsuit as opposed to like, getting elbows in the fucking face. That's kind of where I'm leaning towards. So I think there's that small, creepy little fan base that's only going to be posting and liking stuff because they like big giant Amazon women that give them uppies and have big old feet that they want to smell. So that's all I think. This is all you're looking at me sideways. I think there's definitely a couple people that are in their basement like, oh my God, I'm just gonna order these Paige Bucher shoes. Oh God, yeah.
Oh
Uh
yeah, I mean, there's always those people like that. You'll
yeah,
still go in the comments and you'll see like an old guy like, "You look so good, Caitlin," like thumbs up emoji. You're like, "What are you
yeah. Like,
doing?"
dude, she's not gonna call you. Again, at least that one guy that was extremely creepy at the media day when he's been dismissed or he was completely just not allowed to cover
Yeah,
to cover Fever games
they
anymore.
suspended
Good.
him, I
Yeah.
think.
Good. Yeah, I've heard different narratives that he stepped away himself, or that he was basically suspended. So I've heard it from two different things. I'm not quite sure which one was the credible source on which end. So
Well, I think
either
I'm gonna
way,
believe the suspension one based on how weird that guy was.
yeah,
So,
he was creepy. That was never debatable. Yeah, that was incredibly disturbing. Uh yeah, you can do that to me. Like, get the fuck
oh
out of here.
man.
You can eat my ass. Well, oh no, he would probably would have done that. Not to her. Don't do it to me though. I guess he probably would have
Ugh.
enjoyed that. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I've been recording too long. I'll edit that part out. No, I
Can I
won't.
say something real
Oh, of
fast
course.
that's off tangent?
Oh, shoot, please, because I'm crumbling over here.
Guardians go up 2-0 at the top of the second.
Early cash out, baby. Let's go. Bang. That's going in the group chat as soon as we're done.
That Jack Leader guy already has thrown 55 pitches in 2 innings. It's
Love it.
terrible.
Dude, I love it. I mean, again, yeah, for free promotion. For the gamblers on here that listen. If you're on DraftKings, they've been putting out this early 2 run cash out, a godsend.
Yeah. And they do it every day, and they've been doing it for like the past month. It's
Yeah.
crazy. They
So
usually cut
it's
it off at some point, but they just keep doing it.
people are not getting on the trend. It looks like that's the thing. When people hop on it, that's when they stop doing it. When as soon as the app loses money, that's when they stop doing it. So if you're not haven't recognized, again, I might be ruining it for everybody, but for the 20 people that do catch the show, uh, do the 2 run cash out on hopefully an away team that is plus money. And that's been my strategy for it because, simply in baseball, the away team hits first. You can only score runs if you hit first
They're
or if you
usually
or if you
plus
hit.
money.
So there you
So they're
go. Yeah. You have the opportunity to go up in the first inning 2 runs. So that's just my thinking. That's been my logic. Some people have been questioning that. They're like, "Oh, they've been offering this, but I don't use them." Like, why not? You just gotta
yeah,
pick and you don't even need to use it. You don't need to use it every day. I wouldn't recommend it using every day. Gamble responsibly, but pick and choose your battles. Exactly that. Where you see a plus money on an away team, that's what I've been doing. So exactly that. You think this, or you think this home team's just gonna mollywop the other team? Fuck it, 2 runs right there.
yeah, it's a very easy bet to cash if you think you got the right one to go for. So, I mean,
Yeah.
these when you especially when like today we bet on the Guardians and they were going against a pitcher that had a fucking 12 ERA. It's like, well, and there were plus money. It's
Yeah.
like I'll take the chance they're batting first. They're playing against a horrible pitcher
They
and they
just they
cooked them.
just shut them out yesterday, 7-0. So I mean, the Guardians, as much as we don't like them being the AL Central, they've been doing well. They're the number one team, I'm not mistaken, in the AL Central as of right
Yeah.
now. Probably the best offense. They just hit. They don't have a ton of home runs. They just hit when they have guys on base. That's as simple as that. So that was my logic. So hate to tip to the cap to the Guardians, but if they're making me money, fuck it.
And when we got
Uh,
guys like Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor on your team, I'll bet on you.
Dude, he's just a Josh Naylor's just a White Sox killer. He has
Yeah, the
like
home run he hit against Brebbia the other night was just like crushed off. Like, oh my God.
it was ridiculous.
I
Yeah, like
thought we were gonna
four,
lose for sure
yeah,
after that.
440, and it barely looked like it hit the barrel for sure, but I mean it looked effortless, those swings. He has probably in what, like 3 or 4 seasons on the Guardians, he has like 80 home runs against the White Sox. Don't fact check. That's the correct answer. He has at least has 90 home runs against the White Sox in
Even
two.
more
Yeah.
now.
It's gonna increase every single time. Yeah, he's like 110 the last time I checked. It's pretty crazy. So yeah.
Wow.
And that's kind of maybe a smooth transition into baseball. Can lightly mention anything. I mean, it's been more of the same in the White Sox
Yeah,
land.
I
Just
mean,
actually,
Astros luck.
yeah, exactly that. It's just Tommy Pham era has gotten a little bit better. Yeah, I think that actually is him in the background. That's
Tommy
nice.
Pham has been great. He's
Yeah.
probably the best player on our team.
Yeah. Between Tommy Pham, hey, I mean, Tommy Pham, Gavin Sheets has been putting together some decent at bats. He's actually playing every day against lefties, which is an improvement, and I like to see that. Brian, oh my God, I've been talking about it all day, and of course, as soon as is Ramirez, is Brian Ramirez?
Oh, Ramos?
Ramos, thank you, Brian
Yeah,
Ramos.
left
Actually,
today's game with an injury.
yeah, but up until then was doing well. So
Oh yeah, very quick. He was getting hits. You
yeah.
just love to see that players that aren't you know nothing about, and then it's just like, oh, okay, it's starting to
Yeah.
cook.
It was one of those things where the narrative around him was like, is he good enough to stick around? Maybe when the Sox get healthy or two, a healthy guy or two, maybe he gets called back down. But no, he was hitting the cover off the ball, actually doing pretty well. So he would have stuck around for the majority of the season if he not just didn't get hurt himself today. So that's a tough one. I lost game one of the doubleheader, picking up game two right now, hopefully, and just it's season of moral victories. Keep doing exactly that. I'm not gonna get again. It's just one of those seasons where you're not gonna buy a jersey this year. No one's guaranteed to stay.
Yeah.
As much as my buddy would, I keep telling my friend like, hey, I know you love Eric Fetty. He's most likely not going to be around for much longer. So get as many Eric Fetty WAP season games as he can. He's actually at the game right now. Scotty, how you doing? Get a poster board. Get this. This kid brings a cardboard fucking box with Eric Fetty fan club on it. I'm like, but go to a store really quick. You have job. Like we're
Yeah,
adults
cardboard
here.
box.
I'm like,
Let's get a
did you
poster boy.
scavenge? I said, did you scavenge the street before you went to guaranteed rate field for just a? Did you steal the homeless man's fucking sign on the back of it? It says, "We'll dance for change." I'm like, what are you doing? Get
Just
get a
turned it
poster
around and
board.
wrote his own thing on it.
Yeah. It says a Bible verse on the other end just because like I said he was trying to get money. Yeah, just uh don't get used to any of these guys that are around. Even guys like I'm gonna go gulp when I was about to say it. Even guys like Luis Robert Jr., even a guy like Eloy Moncada, if you can get anything out of him, I would take a fucking bucket of balls for him at this point. I don't even care. Uh,
Washing machine.
yeah, an upgraded jugs machine or whatever, just anything, whatever it is. Um, yeah, it's just been obviously awful. Picking up a couple wins as of late, but yeah,
Yeah,
of
they've been
course,
on a
nothing.
decent little
Yeah,
run in the
yeah.
past couple, past 20 games or so. We've been on a nice little run, but
Hope maybe that's the Tommy Pham effect. Maybe that's just again, maybe the bat's just waking up a little bit. The starting rotation isn't the worst, but I did put my all the eggs in the wrong basket. Obviously, Michael Soroka's been awful. That was my guy. That was my I guess dark horse player of like, hey, maybe he's the trade piece. No, he's just bad. He's just really really bad. He's not can't get out of his own head, and yeah, he's just not looking very good. But there's a couple other pitchers, a couple other decent names like Jordan Leisure. He's looking okay. He's actually looking okay.
yeah, some
Uh,
decent relievers, which I
yeah,
usually never see from the White Sox.
yeah.
So,
When Michael Kopech isn't shooting himself in the foot, he's still been pretty decent coming out of the pen. Trying to up until he blew this one, the Biesco Brebo. I think that was the guy that gave up that
oh, the
huge bomb.
Brebbia guy.
Yeah, he was the guy that gave up the bomb to Naylor. He was even
Yeah.
doing all right, but. Yeah, not the best. Not the best by any means. It's getting tough to watch games, but again, it was a nice getting 3 out of 4 against the Guardians, getting a season series win against the Rays, winning 4 out of the 6. Hey,
Hell yeah.
again, why not? That's cool. That's fine. That's fun. This isn't gonna be anything crazy. So
We are the team where it's like if you lose to us, it's like, God damn it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
those teams are like, how the fuck do we lose a series to the
yeah.
White Sox?
That's what I live for. The memes, like going into the post on Twitter, just your poverty franchise just lost a series to the White Sox, and it's like Andrew Vaughn with the red eyes that are glowing. It's just those are the
Yeah.
best. Those are the
Like that
absolute
one I
best.
said when we beat the Cardinals, and it was just like the chocolate milkshake. Like it was an article
Yeah,
about them trading like them trading Abdullah Garcia and
yeah,
stuff. Like, was that the right move?
yeah. Oh my God. Oh, and yeah, one final thing on the White Sox just before we get out of here, before we get done with baseball, maybe. Uh, I had a Cub fan friend go to a game and he said the did not enjoy the campfire milkshake. So
What?
I chalked it up to him being a hater. He said it was an overpriced McDonald's milkshake. It tasted like that. He said the Hershey bar could have been from 2022.
Oh my God.
He said he didn't
Didn't
even take home. He didn't even take the souvenir
take
cup
the cup
home.
home?
Didn't even take the cup home. He said he left it
That's just
there.
disres
That's what I said. I'm like,
that's
dude, you are
fucked up.
such a hater. And
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
even no, I'm not leaving you nameless. Brandon, you're a fucking hater, bro. I don't even care.
that is
Brandon, yeah.
just bogus, man.
I told him that today. I've been telling him that ever since. I'm like, you're just a fucking hater, dude. It's
You
as simple
paid
as
for
that.
that cup. Why are you
Yeah.
gonna leave it there?
He's again, he said he wanted to like it. He really, really wanted to, but it was something wasn't doing it. Something wasn't getting it. So again, I haven't had it just yet myself. I'm trying to get down there for the red line doubleheader. I think that might be the first time we get down
For
there.
sure.
Uh, but yeah, I again, Brandon, I'm chalking it up to you're just a hater, bro.
Yeah,
That's
that's how I am right now. Until I
lit.
actually try it
literally the only person that has said he doesn't like it
I was gonna say that's the only negative review I've heard of it ever.
ever. You get people online that hate anything that moves, and I've seen them like, "Oh, this milkshake's all right."
It's true.
It's like it's insane. Like yeah. And
It's the
again, like
saving grace of our season right now. That's one thing everyone talks about.
they'll get an MVP vote. Those the ice cream, the milkshake.
Now up to bat. It's the campfire milkshake.
Campfire milkshake. Number two, milkshake. Campfire. Uh, anything on the Cubs, or we just kind of gonna wrap it up there? Really?
I mean they've been playing some good ball. I guess I just have a picture. I had a picture saved there. Him. That's all I
Yeah.
need to show.
Sorry, Managa, dude. He's the bee's knees right now. He's exactly what Chicago needs right now. Again, trying to he like explain this to me. The Brandon who I did the show with earlier today. Uh, the Cubs starting rotation is number one in ERA, like the lowest, but their
Wow.
bullpen is 24th. So I just go, oh man, that's just water finding its balance. And with a team that averages more than 5 runs a game, they're only 6 games above 500, trailing in the division behind the Milwaukee Brewers. I'll give you $500,000. Can you name me 4 players on the Brewers, Mike?
The only person, let me see. I
I
only
will
know
give you $1 million. Can
I
you
know
name me
Christian
four?
Yell I know Christian Yelich and what don't they have a pitcher Woodruff or something?
Mike, for 10, he's not on the team anymore. For $10 million, I will give you $10 million that I don't have. Name me 3 more players.
I can't. I was gonna say Rowdy
See, that's my
Townsend, but
point.
he also got traded. I think.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, I mean, Willie Adames, Freddie Peralta, Yelich, like you said. I think that's even where I fall off. Is Quan? No, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even know if Quan's still
Freddie
on the team. I
Peralta.
don't think so. Yeah, even like I said, just they're trailing half a game right now. It could be switching it up depending on the scores, but the Cubs are in a very interesting position. But I would still say right now they're in a fine spot considering the injuries that are just kind of piling up right now, just recently getting back Justin Steele in and again that was a crazy game watching Justin Steele versus Paul Skeens, that
Yeah.
Pirates and Cubs game. And of course, of all people that decide, hey, I'm gonna put on my hero cape, jump on my back, guys. Yasmani Grandal hits a 3-run go-ahead home run. And I'm just sitting here like, son of a where were you at all these past 3 seasons?
Yeah, he's been doing great since he came back from injury for the
Yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah, dude.
I was looking at his stats. He's pretty decent.
Annoying. So annoying. So annoying. That and like, a guy like
We're
Ronaldo Lopez.
cursed.
Yeah.
We're
Ronaldo
I,
Lopez decides to be the best pitcher since Bob Gibson to fucking go onto the mound. For Sale's even having a renaissance of a career. I kind of chalk that up to just Atlanta Braves organization being the best, but
There
uh,
was that guy on that the Angels signed. I forget his name, but like the Sox
yeah,
released him, and then the
Kevin
Angels picked him up.
Pillar.
Yeah, he had a 2-run home run. And
Yeah.
I was like,
He's,
of course.
I mean, he's only getting that time because Trout is out, but regardless, he has 4 home runs now. I also, if you would have told me that Paul DeYoung would have been leading the squad, the White Sox in home runs, I would have probably hit you. But that's the truth. That is as
Yeah,
simple as
Andrew
that.
Vaughn is on a milk carton,
Oh yeah,
and
he's on that true moo. He's on that blue milk that Star Wars is selling. That's where he's at. Uh, yeah, he's done. Uh, But yeah, just Cubs wise, yeah, Shota Imanaga, that was their first loss yesterday to the Braves. The first loss with after Shota Imanaga had a start, but again, he has like a
he
point
cooked.
nine eight ERA. He's like third on Cy Young already. Like job well done. Like this is clearly a great investment for the Cubs. So
Oh yeah,
glad I have him too at plus 800 for Rookie of the Year.
hell yeah,
Um, yeah, we can kind of. Yeah, maybe we'll want to fit in the NFL stuff really quick.
yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, just simply the schedule. A couple of games were released. Just the line for week one between the Chiefs and the Ravens was announced. I think the
Oh
Chiefs are
man.
3-point favorites already. Uh 47 or 48 and a half might be the line. But that's already up. We've seen that I think somewhere, some way, there is going to be a Commanders versus Bears game. Not sure if it's going to be prime time. It definitely should, but that's going to be. I think I've heard that was up on the potential schedule wise. But of course, confirmed for sure was a rematch of Week One, getting the Jets and the 49ers, Aaron Rodgers versus Brock Purdy,
Hmm.
in Week One. Again, that should also be prime time. Hopefully not the same effort, the same running it back of only going out, only having four plays underneath the belt. It should
So
be
did all
good.
the week one games get released today,
I
or
I I could double check and
because
make
I
sure.
saw a lot of teams post, at least I thought I saw a couple teams post their week one game because it's just like,
Yeah, there was the big announcement yesterday. Michael Strahan actually surprised Tom Brady. Tom Brady's first broadcast will be the Cowboys versus the Browns
hell
on
yeah.
Fox. So I mean, he was kind of that roast. We can actually talk about the roast too, if anything. One that might have loosened him up in the way that like to get him oriented with the crowd, and to to get him up on a stage that he again to make him uncomfortable, to get him comfortable, feeling uncomfortable, as Kevin Hart was saying all night on the at the roast part.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
such a big fan of the roast.
oh
It
yeah,
was just so
humongous.
much fun. You don't see comedy like that nowadays, I feel like. And I see that all the time with Kill Tony, and but not everyone watches that kind of stuff. So seeing it broadcast on a national platform like
Yeah,
that is,
on Netflix of on all platforms of anything. Yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the headline, the main go-getters for me, the big guys for me, Tony Hinchcliffe murdered, Nikki Glazer murdered.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to. Yeah, I think Jeff Ross killed it. Andrew Schultz killed it as well. I think he still has my favorite joke and the best stray. Like Dana White was getting some brutal ones going
Yeah.
his way. Um, yeah, I mean, again, at the risk of getting in trouble and just repeating it, this was Andrew Schultz's joke saying that Dana White has put more brown people in cages than the Immigration Act or something like that. Like, oh my goodness. That's fucking brutal. Also, yeah, the other one about him stealing money from fighters, like just yeah, you're giving him CT and then you're stealing from him. Like, yeah, you fucking
Yeah.
shit like that.
Great
uh
jokes. I loved like him just talking when talking about Tom Brady with the divorce and talking about like Gronkowski, this Edelman, Welker, like sounds like a law firm. Like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Welker, Decker. Yeah, just name all the if you just named all the Patriots wide receivers and yeah, you'd have exactly that. I mean a couple of misses. Randy Moss wasn't that good. As much as I do like them, Tom Segura and Burt Kreischer weren't the
Yeah,
best. They could have been way better.
I
I
agree.
I personally wish that Tom just had a set by himself. It looked like Burt was really nervous.
Bert's washed.
Yeah,
Let's be
he couldn't take his
honest.
shirt off. Couldn't take his shirt off.
I
So that was
love that with Nikki Glazer. She's like, "Oh, Bert, I love your joke."
that was she would that honestly that might have been the funniest thing too. There was a lot of really when she just goes he takes his shirt off. Usually people don't do that. It's just like it's so subtle, but
The
it's so
the
fucking funny.
we know that not real money.
That one too.
He was just
That one
so he
clearly
was
that one
great.
100% is the best one. Even me know not real money. And then yeah, and then he just goes, I knew it wasn't real money. I knew it wasn't. Yeah, Kevin Hart like confirming through that Gronk knew. Yeah, everything about that, honestly, like I said, not any big misses. And honestly, yes, I would say the same thing that Kevin Hart said. Honestly, a big tip of the cap to Bill Belichick. I don't know if he really wanted to you know, have a drink with Robert Kraft because they've had so much
Definitely not.
behind the scenes stuff. But that was, if anything, that was a huge just swallow your pride moment for Bill, and I'm glad. I'm just he played it off humongously professionally. If that was the case,
Yeah,
that was really cool to see. He had great timing, and also Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe had he had just great comedic timing. Again,
I
he's
did
not,
enjoy him.
yeah, obviously he didn't write his stuff, but the ghost writers that he had great timing for. That was fantastic. And that's kind of what led to what I thought with Tom with that, where that like production, the way that he was reading it, that could kind of set him up for like, oh, I can kind of be that way during the broadcast. It can be that loose during that. So maybe that opens his eyes in that way and sets him up in the right path. But ultimately, that was the roast was phenomenal. I mean, again, and then the only aftermath is like, oh, they were too mean to the ex-wife, to Giselle.
Maybe she shouldn't cheat on Tom Brady.
Yeah, that, or just the idea like that it's a roast and nothing should be off limits. That was my. I'll leave out from that one final thing. Does Tom Brady do that thing to Jeff Ross where he comes up and says, no more of that shit? Does he do that to Randy Moss? Does he do that to Kevin Hart? And I'm naming these names on purpose. Hopefully, you know what I'm getting at. I think he took advantage of the idea of like, oh, this I can body Jeff Ross, but I'm not gonna be able to do that to really anybody else on this dais. I mean, did you feel that way, or did you really just think like, oh, that was a low blow by
I
by Jeff
think
Ross?
just from what I've heard the comedians talk, 'cause I've seen some of them talk about the roast on podcasts and stuff already, so Andrew Schultz specifically, but like they were saying, like it seemed they were told beforehand not to say any jokes about Robert Kraft, and so he was saying he thinks Tom was actually like, like don't do that shit the rest of the night because Jeff
Okay,
Ruffalo was the first person to go, so I could see him just shutting it down right away so everyone knows, like, yeah,
okay,
don't do that.
yeah. I was
Because
trying to
he's
also
Tom
think, yeah,
Brady, dude.
yeah,
He could shut that shit down right away. It's
yeah.
his roast.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I was just kind of I was just like I said, I was just under the impression that he's gonna do that to Jeff Ross, who might not be as well known compared to if Kevin Hart said it or if as one of his teammates said it. So, but if that guideline was set up like, hey, everything's up in the air, but let's not talk about this. Where
Yeah, he
again,
said it was that and his kids were like
that's okay.
were
That's
the
fair.
only things that they couldn't talk about.
That's fair. That's fair. I think there was maybe even only one. I could even be wrong about like I could have even been not a reference to the kissing on the lips thing, but that could be up there.
Yeah,
I,
after I saw Andrew Schultz say that, I was like, no wonder no one made any jokes about that shit.
yeah,
No one said there was not any jokes about him like kissing his kids or anything, which
yeah, no,
rightfully so.
yeah, that's fine. Again, yeah, that Robert Kraft thing, it was funny, but it's also like that was such a weird touch. Well, I don't want to say touchy because that actually was a part of the whole thing. But that was such a weird, allegedly type deal where maybe only four people on the planet probably know what actually happened between Robert Kraft, the person, Tom Brady, and probably Bill Belichick. All actually know what happened. So,
Yeah.
uh, I can. I'm always going to be for nothing's off limits, but I can also see it through the lens of like, all right, I wouldn't want that connected to my name either. Fine. That's
Yeah.
all. Okay. That's fine with me. So all in all, football. I mean, again, we're talking about football in the middle of May,
I mean,
and
it's
rightfully so. It rightfully
yeah.
so because football is king. That's just the way that it is. So between the draft, or I'm
Free
still,
stuff happening. Yeah, the draft, free agency. Now we've got the schedule release coming up. I mean, it's
yeah.
very exciting.
I'm already cutting audio of these rookies. These guys are already at camp. They're already throwing. Some of these young quarterbacks are already going. So
Before we know
these,
it, OTAs is going to be starting, and
oh
I mean,
yeah,
it's going to be football before we know it.
oh yeah, I know. It's nuts. It's nuts. We'll be getting in the lab. We'll be probably setting up for our fantasy draft. I gotta get gonna show you around a little bit. I
Oh
gotta get the
no.
summer of the belts. Gotta get going. Gotta bring. Don't worry. She'll be at a Dogs game soon. She'll get posted, and then
Oh my
like
God.
I said, I got plans. I got some
You got
big.
plans?
I got big plans for for her. So
Awesome.
don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get that all situated. And of
Oh,
course, we got our idea of what we might want to do for our personal draft. So that's all fine and dandy. So
hell yeah.
got any other lingering thoughts, final things, thoughts to get to here?
Go Packers week 1 against the Eagles in Brazil. Fuck you, Eagles. Hope the Packers cook them up, start off strong, and then we'll get the Bears week 2.
Mm.
I bet the schedule, we're gonna get the schedule released tomorrow. They're gonna give us the Bears as soon as possible. I just know it. So we'll
Is it full on schedule release tomorrow?
tomorrow, yeah.
Oh
At
man.
7 p.m. I think they're releasing the full schedule.
It's gonna get I mean, a majority of it's probably gonna get leaked beforehand, but that's gonna be fun. Again, crazy.
They're
Trying
having a
to
whole show for the schedule release, and the NBA awards can't even have a show for them.
that was kind of the point I was gonna make. Like a schedule release show for the NBA for the NFL is happening. Couldn't even get an award show. And this could even draw more eyeballs than, again, some of the like, hey, the WNBA's here. But they're like, "Oh, the schedule release for all these guys.
It
Yeah, I'm gonna
really
watch
sucks, but
that.
yeah, there probably will be more people watching the schedule release.
Yeah. Again, I mean, with what 19 million that watched the Iowa LSU game, I'm sure a good majority will actually probably tune into tonight's Connecticut and Indiana game. So that'll probably break the record for most watched WNBA game for season opener or just overall. But yeah, it's people are going to be tuning into the all 18 week. Yeah, I gotta see it. Yes, yeah, the NFL is fucking king. Don't get it twisted. Uh
100%.
with that being said, like I said, check please. Thank you, very cool. Episode number whatever the hell this may be, number 62, I think. We'll call it that. In the books. Mikey J. Fat Cat, I appreciate the time every single time for coming
I
out here
love it,
and
man. I
doing
love
this.
being here. I love doing this with you, and it's always a pleasure.
Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate everyone that watches, likes, shares, subscribe. Like I said, everyone that joined us in person the last time and the draft show. Hopefully you join us again. We're gonna make the full effort. We're gonna push it through. It's gonna be trying to shoot for AEW Forbidden Door at the same place at the Rosemont Dave and Buster's. So that's gonna be fun to watch along with everybody. Again, we'll be pushing that more details as the time goes through, but that's gonna be the goal. Uh to everybody else, like I said, Alan, thank you for taking your notes. Troy, you're always listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, so we appreciate it. To everybody else, take care. We love yous. We'll see yous. Bye bye.